Hey YouTube, a few weeks ago I told you that I just started on eToro as a fund manager. Well, the journey has been fun and interesting so far and I am enjoying it. We also got a number of followers already for our portfolio on eToro, and we have also got our first few copiers. These are the early adopters who will benefit from the gains in our Project 1 million portfolio. In this video, I want to take a look at some of the other current top investors on the eToro platform. I always keep an eye out for other investors who are doing well. Let's take a look. On the eToro platform, you can create watch lists. I've created a few watch lists on my account. I've created a one for long-term investors. I've also created one for those who have a lot of copiers. I also created one for those who I'm still researching. And I also created one for the traders who are engaging in day trading and other kinds of trading and who seem to be doing well. For this video, the focus is on the long-term investors. These are some of the long-term investors and their portfolios that I've identified so far that I see have good long-term potential. Let's take a look at some of them in detail. The first long-term investor that I want to introduce you to is this lady called One Girl. Her real name is Lena Virginia Bursey. Let's take a look at her profile in a bit more detail. So she says she's a medium longer term stock investing investor. She also has a blog and we'll look at that in a short while. She has about 17,000 followers and about 607 copiers. Let's take a look at her stats. So this year has been a blowout year for her. She did almost 40% year to date. Last year was not good for the stock market in general and not good for her account. But the year before she did very well as well. And if you look further down, you can see that she has performed reasonably okay for the other years as well. She has a lot of copiers as mentioned. Over the year, her maximum drawdown has been about 18.29%, which is not too bad. Her AUM or assets under management is between 300k to 1 million. That is how much money she's managing. Her average holding time for a stock is about 16 months, and I usually like that because I am a long-term investor myself. Let's take a look at her portfolio as well. So in a portfolio you see a lot of familiar names, and some of these stocks I own for Project 1 million as well. She has Amazon, MasterCard, Netflix, Nvidia, Apple, Google, Facebook, Microsoft, PayPal, Adobe, Shopify, and a few other stocks here as well. So I can see that she's investing a lot in some of these bigger names, and that's something I do as well. What I like about her portfolio as well is that she is also placing small bets on some of these smaller cap but very promising stocks like Square, Trade Desk, Etsy, Twilio, Roku, Pinterest, and Workday. Some of these have not worked out for her. Pinterest is down nearly 45% since she bought it. Etsy is down 31.93%. But nonetheless, I think that has probably helped her account overall. Making small bets on some of these very promising and high growth companies, along with the very stable and large cap companies. So a very balanced and interesting portfolio. On her blog, she has some interesting articles as well. So you can see she has an article about why it's good to stay invested, power compounding, why it's difficult to invest long term, top 10 rules, investing rules, importance of understanding volatility, and key things she looks out for when buying a stock. So I suggest you check it out if you're interested. The next long-term investor I want to introduce you to is this investor called Spark Liang. His real name is Teo Kai Liang. So most of his posts are in Chinese. But the good thing about eToro is that you can actually translate everything to English. And so you can understand all his posts. So let's take a look at his bio. He's a long-term value investor. He bought about 10 stocks in 2018, only bought one stock in 2019. Buying is long-term holding unless the fundamentals deteriorate. The market rises, continue hold. The market falls, I buy more. That sounds like a winning strategy to me. Let's take a look at his stats. This year he has done very well indeed. Almost 40% year to date. A great year for him. Last year, as mentioned, was not a good year for the stock market, so he didn't do too well either. He has about 607 copiers. He is also managing about 300k to 1 million. And his drawdown has been even less this year than one go, and is only 13% plus. He also tends to hold his average stock for average holding time of about 16 months. So a long-term investor indeed. Let's take a look at his portfolio. So he has Facebook. This is a holding that Project 1 Million is also very bullish on. He has Baba, another holding we are very bullish on as well. He has JD.com. He has Tesla. Oh, I think Jeremy will like this guy. He has Starbucks. He has Shopify, Apple, Disney, Netflix. And I'm not sure what this is, so let's find out what this is. Oh, this is the FTSE China 25 Index Fund, iShares. So overall, I think it's a decent portfolio. Very interesting, some good stable names, as well as some value plays, maybe like Tesla, and also some large caps like Apple. And the other interesting thing about his portfolio is that he is almost half now in cash. So you can see he's holding 44% in cash. So he probably thinks the market is a little high right now, and he's probably waiting for better opportunities. The other interesting thing about Spark Liang is that he actually has his own YouTube channel as well, and he's quite a prominent and popular YouTube channel. It seems he has about 154 subscribers, and he also tends to post regular videos. Unfortunately, these videos are in Mandarin, so I won't be able to understand them, and I don't think YouTube has a feature yet where they provide subtitles and translations. So until they do, I won't be able to understand these videos. But if you do understand Mandarin, then I suggest go ahead and check out these videos. I'm sure they'll probably be interesting. The next long-term investor I want to introduce you to is Alder Wick. His real name is Aaron V. And so this is his homepage. Let's find out a little bit more about his investing style. He says here at Alder Wick, capital protection emphasized while not entirely foregoing capital generation. Investments are made after extensive research and observation. Sans leverage to further minimize risk. I like that. I don't use that leverage either in my investments. Profits are either accumulated or reinvested into assets within the portfolio. Finally, monthly bio updates reflect changes made over the past month. As a long-term, primarily defensive investor, I don't personally subscribe to technical analysis. In-depth fundamental analysis, however, is critical. And I agree. I mean, to me, investing is all about understanding the businesses you're investing in and investing for the long term. So, seems interesting. Let's look at his stats. So, this year he did pretty well as well. 27% year to date. Not too bad. And actually, last year was a down market for the overall stock market, but he did reasonably okay. He actually made a profit even last year, 2.26%. And the year before was a blowout year for him. He did very well, 44%. Let's look at more stats. Okay, so he started here in on eToro in 2016. So this guy has I think one of the highest copiers out of the three that I'm showcasing in this video. He has about 1,428 copiers, and his year to date drawdown is pretty low, which is 13.8, pretty good. His average holding time for stock is about 15.5 months, so also a long-term investor. Let's take a look at his portfolio. So this is his portfolio. He seems to be more of a value investor. He has Berkshire Hathaway as his biggest holding right now. He has Disney, Apple, okay, Activision. Oh, he has gold as well. Okay, I know that Warren Buffett doesn't like gold, but he likes to invest in gold apparently. There's some other company. I think Bayer is a deep value play for him, maybe because of all the troubles he's been going through. Cisco, Pfizer, Procter & Gamble, Visa, Tesla as well here. Okay, interesting. Some Facebook, some Microsoft, MasterCard, Costco. Okay, he seems to have a larger number of companies than the previous two investors. Baba, okay. These are the other companies, some Coke as well. Okay, and some other companies here as well. So he's mostly invested. He only has 8.7% in cash at the moment. So it seems like quite a diversified portfolio, more tilted towards value plays, but he does have some good companies in them, and he seems to have done very well this year. So when you open up a eToro account, you are given $10,000 in virtual money for investing. So I decided to start a competition among these good investors on the eToro platform. So I chose 9 investors to invest $1,000 each, and I'm also going to have the index. Let's go back. Sorry. So I have the index over here, and I have chosen 9 investors, including the 3 that I've profiled in this video. So I have this investor. He has a very high number of copiers. This is a long-term investor identified. This is the one we talked about. This is another trader, I think, who has done pretty well. Another trader. This also seems to be a good long-term investor. And we have talked about Alder Wick, and we have talked about One Girl already. So I put $1,000 in each of them, and let's see how it goes. Let's compare this virtual portfolio every 3 months and see who is leading in terms of growing their money. So I hope you found that look at some of the top 3 long-term investors I found so far on the eToro platform useful. I think this will probably be an ongoing series as I research and learn more about some of these investors. I will probably add them to my watch list, and maybe we will do another video about some new long-term investors that I have been able to find. I hope you will also join me on my eToro journey. If you haven't opened the eToro account yet, I suggest you do. It's a fun and interesting social trading platform where you get to interact with people all over the world, and of course you get to copy and learn from some of the best investors. I still have about 6 people who are able to claim $50 if they sign up using the link in my description tab. So if you haven't opened an eToro account, I suggest you do it. If you found this video useful, please smash that like button. It really helps the YouTube algorithm. Please subscribe if you haven't, and please share this video with people you think might find it interesting and who are serious about investing long term. That's it for this video, and we'll see you in the next video. Have a great day.